if we really want to become who we came here to be, we need to know how to do it. We need to know the steps. We need to know what we should embody. For what we should change the habits that are not resonating with us anymore. When we are scrolling on the phone, we know deep inside that we could actually do something more constructive, something more beneficial, but we don't know exactly what. We don't have that sense of clarity around it. So that's why it's so hard to change habits often. But there are traits of people who are living a life of abundance, a life of prosperity, a life of great health, great relationships. They're loving what they're doing. They're doing what they love. They're passionate about their lives and what they're doing. And there are certain things, certain steps they did and they're doing every single day. So they're maintaining that kind of a life. And when you start doing that, you actually say, well, it's really easy. It's easy to manifest. It's easy to live that kind of a life. And it doesn't mean that life becomes easier. It just means that we find certain tools. We develop a new way of perception that allow us to see a life in a different way, to respond to a life in a different way. We know that actually we are collaborating with nature. We're not here fighting with what's happening. We're actually here one force working together. And to get into that state, I want to give you 8 habits that will help you to get to that point. I could not talk about this if I would not be there. So I will guide you through the process I've learned in my life that helped me to raise my standards of life, my values of life, and my habits of life in life, so we can maintain the life that is meaningful for us, that is purposeful, that is important to us. And the first habit is persistence and perseverance. It's just something we have to understand. We don't listen opinions of others. We rather allow life to coach us. And sure, we are learning the wisdom from great minds and hearts, but avoid listening advices from those who've never been where we're going. And this is an important advice that, if you want to be financially abundant in your life, you will not go for an advice to someone who's poor, right? Who's broke. And those are the smartest often when you're sharing your dreams with them. So they may easily rob you from your enthusiasm for following your heart. But when you really pay attention to who can give you an advice of wisdom, practical steps to get to where you want to be, the one that's already there, right? And people who are on a higher vibrational level, they understand that. They know that we have to have a certain amount of perseverance because life is not always easy. And we are introduced to challenges here and there. And we know that sometimes we just have to push through so we can break the old patterns. And persistence is important. That's why for today's video, I'm sharing with you painting Persistence, Rose That Grows Through the Concrete. So if this already resonates with you, hit the like button because it helps to reach more people. So with that, you're actually doing a great work. Thank you so much, my friends. Persistence and perseverance, really important habits and approaches to life. So we start to understand that if it's hard, it's okay. Sure, take time to rest, to rejuvenate when it's important, but then get back on track when you see no results. Just know that it's not time yet, but they will come. When you plant a seed, it's not time yet until you see a small leaf maybe coming from the ground, right? And then it slowly starts growing if you're nurturing it. It's same with everything. So they know that persistence also means That you don't just start something, do it for a few days, and then you quit because it doesn't work. They know that every great thing takes time, right? And persistence helps you to keep up. The second habit is that they hold a positive outlook on life, but are willing to stay in their negativity until it gets resolved and well understood. So they're living by their own design of their future. They're living by their own design of their future. I was always designing my future, and I'm still doing it. When I want to change something or add up something, I have a block in which I'm writing my dreams in, my vision in, and I'm just writing it like it's already present, and I'm visualizing it. And if it's something I could put onto the wall, like, you know, sometimes people are using vision board, I will put it on the wall somewhere where I can see it every single day, so I can be inspired. And I'm not thinking about it like, oh, I wish it would happen, oh, I hope it will happen, when it will happen. I just know it will come into fruition. So high vibrational people hold positive outlook on life, but are willing to stay in their negativity until it gets resolved and well understood. So what does it mean? It means we all have negative thoughts. We all have negative emotions. We all have been traumatized in some ways. Even if we had a beautiful childhood, most probably our ancestors have been traumatized. And as epigenetics, the science of epigenetics is teaching us that we hold within our DNA 16 generations of our ancestral memories. So we all hold within certain traumas that maybe, you know, sparking more negative thoughts here and there. When we are exposed to certain triggers, we start to think more negative thoughts, and sometimes those triggers may be not seeing results of your manifestations, and you get into a state of doubting. And in those states, to actually resolve this kind of a trigger or trauma, just be with those thoughts and actually question them. Okay, why do I think that way? Is this true? Is this real? Is there really no way out of this? And be with that objectively, like you would be talking with a friend. You will see that at some point you will gain a better understanding of those negative thoughts. And when you will gain an understanding, it's like turning light on in the dark place. Something awakens and you experience a release of energy, and suddenly you feel a bit more inspired and enthusiastic to keep up. That's why it's so important to deal with the negativity, and you will naturally become more positive. But keep designing your future if you want to get there. Keep designing it. Know that you are the creator of your life. The third habit is that they understand that the desired outcome only has value when the journey towards it is well enjoyed and rich with challenges that expands their problem-solving capacity. And this is really, really powerful, what I said right now. They understand that the desired outcome only has value when the journey towards it is well enjoyed and rich with challenges that expands their problem-solving capacity. So we have to find something that really inspires us, that is joyful. You know, like for me, learning to paint was not an easy process, but it was joyful. When I was seeing the progress, I was enjoying it. It was not something like I needed to force myself and it would be really, really hard. I was enjoying in it. So when we are designing a future dream, well, sure, sometimes it will be hard. For me, the hardest days were when I was dealing with financial challenges, when I got bills to pay and I had no money to pay them, you know, and I had no idea how I will get that money. And the last day of that expired date, I've sold an original painting, and things like that happened. That taught me that everything takes time, but actually also everything works in time. So this is an important lesson. And that whole process makes us patient and grounded, but at the same time allows us to know our own unique functioning. You know, how we are functioning, how are we dealing with hard moments? Because we are all dealing with them uniquely, our own way. And we have to gain a better understanding of how uniquely we are functioning when we're triggered, when it's hard, when nothing works, how we are responding to it. Are we running away from the challenges? Are we looking at them objectively? Are we all scared and angry and frustrated? And it's all okay, you know, whatever is your flow, it's all okay. Just get back to it and learn from that. That's what all of us are doing. And that's what everyone who you would describe as, you know, high vibrant people are doing. So the whole process of reaching that certain desirable outcome just makes us wiser. Never forget that. The fourth habit is gratitude. Like, we know. But it's not like, you know, being naive with gratitude. Oh, even if I'm not where I want to be, I'm still grateful for what I have. Even though it's true. But sometimes people are not satisfied with their lives. And sometimes people are really miserable. And then they use gratitude as an excuse. Yeah, well, but I'm still grateful, so I have to be okay with that. Which is not okay. Gratitude means that you are completely whole. That you feel whole with what you have. But wholeness is a creative force. Wholeness has within an incredible capacity to create a new moment that will be even more incredible than this one. So each moment is the most incredible moment we create. That's the attitude of gratitude. Being grateful, but at the same time being creative, being inspired. So they know that great things take time, so they don't allow time to rob them from appreciating what they already have. But life is happening now, and only by being content you can experience the richness of life. Only by being content you can experience the richness of life. For them, gratitude is the foundation of greater complexity on which they can build desirable life. We know that what we have right now is the foundation, and we have to look at it like that. What you have right now is the foundation. You're building on that. You're building on that. So don't, you know, stop saying, oh, I hate my life, and rather start saying, I am building my life from here. This is where I'm starting. This is where I'm starting. And when you change this approach, you will suddenly start to feel more enthusiastic, because you will see, well, this is the beginning. I don't need to hate this because it's not how I would like it to be. I have to start somewhere. And the journey in front of me is long and holds within many challenges, but I have to start somewhere. And that's how we start appreciating where we are, because you still are there, and you are healthy, and you are okay, and even though you may not be okay, you still can start somewhere, and that's great. The fifth habit is self-awareness. They understand that their weaknesses are not their errors, but undeveloped potential. They don't make them unworthy, but actually propel them towards new learning. Knowledge and skills, right? They know that inside their DNA, they are divinely perfect as they are. And that is a huge understanding. Within your DNA, you are divinely perfect as you are. Once you embody this knowing, you will stop sabotaging yourself. You will know, well, my skills are not developed well yet, maybe. And I have some weaknesses, but I'm not unworthy because of that. Sure, I can learn many new things, but it doesn't make me a bad person. I'm divinely perfect as I am. That's how this universe created me. That's how Source or God created me. That's who I am, and I have weaknesses. I have work to do. I am unshaped diamond maybe, but I still am a divine being, a spiritual being having a human experience. So once you embody that, you will recognize that your self-confidence will change, because you will start seeing yourself from a different level. You will not see yourself as this material little identity that holds within so much of limiting beliefs. You will see yourself as a divine being of unlimited capacities that needs to discover them and work on them and build new skills through acquiring new knowledge, through constant learning and walking forward and learning from everything that's happening. And that is a profound work. The sixth habit is that they use sadness or anger or depression or any negative emotion for reflection, meditation, and expression through deep conversations, because they know that within those emotions, their inner genius cries to be heard, acknowledged, and nurtured. They don't distract themselves from it, they stay with it until this certain aspect of themselves get acknowledged and integrated in their daily life. And this is again a huge skill. That's how we start reading ourselves. We start learning from ourselves. Sometimes we have those days when something from the past awakens and we feel sad, or we may feel miserable, and we may feel uninspired, and it may take few days or even weeks to recognize what is happening. But if you, rather than distracting yourself with social media and escaping to all kinds of different things, you actually meditate on that, you reflect on it, you take a piece of paper and you start writing what you're feeling and what are your thoughts around it, maybe your beliefs, like what do I think that is the cause of those emotions? What I've been through that could cause me to feel that way right now? Or what happened? Again, deep reflection, deep introspection, or conversations with someone who may help us to understand this part of us better. That's what people on high vibrational level are doing, because they understand that lower emotions lowers down our whole being, and we don't want to be anchored down in lower energies, because we know how precious life is and how incredibly valuable we can be in this wonderful society if we are functioning on higher energies. That's why we don't want to be blocked by that. We want to research those parts of us. We want to research our shadow work, and there's many different practices you can use. There's, there are trauma releasing exercises. You can find them on YouTube. You can find shadow meditations, shadow work meditations. You can find hypnosis to go into your childhood so we can gain a better understanding of yourself. There's many different tools. Or, for example, neurofeedback. Again, incredible tools to gain a better understanding of our negative side of us. It's all a polarity, Everything has polar opposites, so nothing is good or bad. We just have to gain a better understanding of how everything works, so we stop blaming ourselves and we start seeing ourselves actually as a vessel of a potential that just requires some time and some understanding and some knowledge and some compassion and some love, so we can start serving our purpose better. The seventh habit is that they have well-organized daily routines, so they start a day with a fresh new perspective, use their most creative time productively, and still have enough time for their loved ones and side projects. That's just something that is life-changing, When we design a daily routines that really work for us, and of course through time as we're changing and growing, we are changing them. But for myself, I know I'm the most creative in the morning time. That's when I will make plans for my videos. That's when I'm usually filming my videos. When I finish that, I will go painting. But to wake up myself, I need a good meditation, I need a good workout, a lot of water, I need sunshine, if possible I go outside, and things like that. So I have well-structured morning routines, and if you will study anyone you maybe admire right now, you will notice those people have really great organized daily routines. So start working on that, and it will change your life completely, because you will notice you will have much more free time, or you will have much more time for those you love, or for some side projects, or maybe you're working on a certain project beside your job, so that thing may become your job later in life. And you may say, well, I have a lack of time, or maybe you just have a lack of time management, which can be accomplished through some awareness and some planning, right? And the last one, the 8th habit, is that they have, and this one is to me really, really powerful, they have unconditional trust in the natural order of life. So what does it mean? Well, I've experienced this many times. I just know that life supports us. I know that life supports us when we're living in accordance with the laws of nature, when we're doing good for everyone, when we are doing good for nature, when we are serving our purpose, when we're becoming our greatest version, something just happens that life starts supporting us. And it's not like saying, oh yes, if that would be true, why there's so much suffering on the world? It's because people don't understand that. If we're programmed to constantly complain and worry and be sad and be frustrated, we'll just be creating more of that. We'll feel like that, we'll walk like that, we'll act like that, and we'll create more of that. But when we raise ourselves up, and we actually recognize, well, I can be of service, I can actually raise people up, I can actually do something creatively, I can actually embody this divine creative force that is moving through me and is giving me incredible ideas that I could use to firstly improve my life. So I can actually do something helpful on this world. And once we start doing that, nature starts supporting us. So if you do anything with the intention of becoming your greatest version, everything will be seen as a lesson to achieve that. So high vibrational people don't complain about situations. Instead, they discuss them with a problem-solving mindset from a creative perspective. That's what we do. When we see a problem, we don't just talk about it in a complaining way. We discuss it with a problem-solving mindset, which means that we recognize, okay, what's the solution to this thing? And once we learn to tap into our creative capacities, sometimes when I don't know what to do, I do what I've mentioned before to you, what's called the yoga nidra, or I just lay down, I do coherent breathing, I calm my body down, my nervous system down. In 10 to 15 minutes, I get into a really, really calm state. When I'm really relaxed, my brain goes from beta brainwave frequency into alpha brainwave frequency and later into theta brainwave frequency, where I just get insights. I get inspiring ideas or certain ways to solve what is maybe a problem in my life. That's what I do. And if you will study other people, you will notice that's what great minds are doing. So we have all those great capacities, we just need to learn to tap into them. And if we have the right tools, the right knowledge, we'll be able to achieve great things. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. I hope this video can help you to become your greatest version, to raise your energy, and to actually do what you've come here to do, what you feel inspired to do, what is calling you to do. So I hope also that you've enjoyed in today's painting, Persistence, Rose that Grows Through the Concrete. I feel that this painting really resonates with today's message. So my friends, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And thank you for supporting my art in our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. The link is in the description of this video. Go there and check it out. Until next time, one love.